Shalom, shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Machakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Greetings and salutations to the elect, the hopeful elect, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. It's your brother Yaquab out of the command of Great Millstone, Atlanta. Us being in the truth, or people in the world, is really a message to everybody. It's not limited to one who's in the truth or somebody's in the world as of now, because one day you can be in the truth and the next day you can be back in the world, and one day somebody can be in the world and the next day they are in the truth. We've seen countless examples, and Yahushua spoke of this in the parable of the sower. And this world has a significant pull on it, especially being in America. So you can know the truth, you can be in the truth, but the cares of this world, the deceitfulness of lust, woman, money, not wanting to struggle, not wanting to be hated, comfortability, all these things at the blink of an eye can compromise your integrity and completely change your life forever. All right. Now, yes, a lot of people have, on this side, you see a lot of people living lavishly. You see, or I'll say certain people living lavishly, living comfortably, proud. Certain people have fame, have all the women, the glory and the preeminence of this world, but not really realizing that truly they're not of the elect. They were born in vain, as it is written, And what has taken place is they put the cares of this world above the afterlife. And when we say the afterlife, we mean the hereafter, which is the kingdom of heaven, when we all should be born again, or may I say, renewed, because the elect will receive new bodies, but a lot of others will be born again. But when we all shall live again, and based upon, what you did in this life is going to determine the next. And so, I'm going to just jump right into the scriptures. This is Sirach chapter 11, verse 24. It says, "In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction." Right. So right now, of course, we're in affliction, but in the kingdom, we're not even going to recollect. We're not even going to relate to the affliction that we have to go through now. It's going to be a thing of the far past. And the reads, it says, "In the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity." Right. So yeah, you can live good right now. You can, do what you want and do what you please right now. But guess what? What happens when Jacob's trouble hit and that day of affliction hit? When the RFID chip is implemented, and you can't use all that money you worked your ass for unless you want to take a chip and use it in that manner. Well, then there's going to be no remembrance of when you were being a nigga on the music video, or when you had that condominium or that mansion, that yacht, whatever. All that's going to be a thing of the past, man. And now you have to deal with and be grieved with the affliction that is at hand. All right. The scripture says, "My servant shall eat, but ye shall hunger." All right. And that day of the famine, yeah, you might be eating good now. I'm speaking to those who are laboring for this world gratitude. Yeah, you might eat good now, but in Jacob's trouble, when anarchy, sedition, when the economy crashes, when they quarantine the cities, barricade, when they shut off the food supply, then, you had that professional chef, but what good is it now? When you're not able to eat and you're starving, you and your family. But we know those who labor for the spirit and in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, they are going to be satiated and eat when everybody else is hungry. Why? Because of their labors as we speak now, right now. Today's labors determine the harvest of tomorrow. I'm going to read that again throughout. It says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. I'm going to read verse 21. It says, marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord. Trust in Yahweh and his son, Yahushua. It says, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. On the sudden. Shazam. Out of nowhere. It's an easy thing. It's easy. And likewise, it's easy for the Lord to make a rich man poor. So understanding that these things are in the power of the Lord, wouldn't it behoove us to do the will of the Lord so he may grant us these delicacies in due season? What profiteth the riches not in due season? It is as a wise word spoken out of time. It's foolish. It's unprofitable. See? It's unprofitable. All right? So, let's see. Get, this is, the book of 2nd Esdras. Chapter 7, verse 21. No, it's like, verse 56. It says, for while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Have you considered that? Do you remember that? We're going to, if you sow iniquity, you're going to have to pay for it after death. That's why we're in this condition today, because our ancestors sowed iniquity. So, when it's our time to come back, as a nation, we were put in captivity, born into captivity. All right? So you're going to pay for it after death. All right? So we have to keep in mind, it's not YOLO, man. That YOLO spirit is a spirit of death. All right? You live way more than once. And you're going to live again, and you're going to play out your judgment. All right? And that goes for all nations of people. All ethnicities. All right? So verse 57, it says, then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he overcome, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the things that I say. See? And what is that? Life. Everlasting life. That's the victory. Overcoming sin, receiving new bodies, being of that number, the elect. That's what we're striving for. All right? Peace, incorruptible bodies. That's the mission. That's the objective that we're seeking to accomplish. We can never astray from that path, because you can just be in the truth, but you can forget why you're doing this. You're doing this so your household will be saved. We're doing this so we'll be saved. We're doing this to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. If you lose focus of that, then it can alter your judgment and your decision making, which could lead to death. So what? The scripture says being single-eyed. When you go into the Greek, it's basically going into fulfilling your office. Complete your duty. It's not written that we're soldiers in Mashiach Yahushua. All right? So, Lord willing, this is quick lesson was edifying, and the exhortation to the sincere laborers and sheep of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rachakadash. Shalom, and keep the faith.